Hello, hello. Jola
Hello, hello.
Pypno-Crapanzano here with Coaching Journey with Jola. And today, my friends, you better get your seatbelts on because I'm taking you on a journey to UK, London, baby. We are with the Powerhouse duo, Claire and James Davis, aka Midlife Experts. Hi, guys. How are you?
Yeah, we're great. How are you? Thanks.
That's the best
Awesome.
introduction I think we've ever had. I love that introduction.
You are absolutely my favorite peeps. I have to say, I went on the rampage and investigated all your lives from the scratch. I know everything about you. And the reason is because truly, when I look back on my life, and if you actually have it, I don't know if you had a chance to read my chapter or not, I actually had this story 5 years ago that 5 years ago, I would have been your ideal client. And I know it for a fact. So we're going to dig in all of this, but the proper introduction is due. So guys, you get to meet these fantastic people. They married, so do not make hopes up. They both good looking, but they both taken. So all right. However, they both will help you to get in the best shape of your life if you let them. These peeps discovered and founded a brand called 38 North. And it's unbelievable because basically it's for people who are 40 and up. So I kind of made a disclaimer. This is the best for those peeps. But how, if you're coming closer to it or you want to see how it's going to be for you when you hit 40, you're still welcome to stay with us. By the way, whoever is watching us on Facebook Live right now, you know I try very hard to be very good with that. So let me see if we have any guests right now officially. But if not, we will do that, answering questions and so on. Yeah, we have actually people. Nice, very nice. Welcome, guys. Say names, where you're from joining us. Tell us if you're watching this live or on replay. And please drop the questions for these beautiful people below. So, yeah, they also have unbelievable podcast that is actually called the Midlife, help me out.
Mentors.
Right, Midlife Mentors. I said it and I already forgot. Whoa, what's up with that?
That's okay.
Anyhow, so guys, wonderful podcast. I listened to a bunch of episodes and it's gold. You got this podcast is 5-star rated, and just like these two amazing people got so many rewards. They have a reward for being, most influential, their company most innovative, so many amazing things like trip advisors for the best retreat out there. And in ideal world, you would be doing right now a retreat in Ibiza, wouldn't you? But here you are from London.
Exactly.
We were supposed to start. Yes, yeah. We were supposed to start our 2020 Ibiza season, weren't we, for Easter? But the world had other plans, like it did for everyone else.
That's right. I feel your pain. I had to cancel my retreat in Peru in July. Well, it will be just postponed. Let's look positive, right? At the positive.
Exactly.
So officially, once again, welcome Claire and James. It is such a pleasure. Guys, if you didn't know, these guys are just yet another amazing part of this family. We created this masterpiece in a record time, less than 2 months, 50 days or so. It became international bestseller over many platforms in many countries. And their chapter, they did it together, so it's double length, double value, double maintenance, okay?
Double trouble.
And the good thing about this is they threw so many amazing extras that just by reading, you can get it on Kindle for 99 cents. And you will get the value just from them alone that will blow your mind. A course, 5-day course, you're going to get classes, you're going to get other stuff. So that's it. Enough advertisement. I think I gave you amazing.
Oh, that was amazing. Thank you so much.
That's so sweet of you.
So guys, first question always, how are you doing these days? How is London doing in this pandemic?
We're doing really well, actually. Yeah, obviously we should be in Ibiza, and we're not. We're in London, but we recognize this is like a totally difficult situation for so many people around the world, and there's no blueprint for it. So we're just kind of embracing it and making the best we can from it. And actually, we're finding the time really valuable to kind of reflect on ourselves and do a lot of inner work. Obviously, we're very constrained what we can and we can't do outside. So depending where you are in the world, right here in London, you can go out for shopping, and you can go out for like an exercise period once a day. So we're making the most of that, doing lots of exercise, but otherwise doing like a lot of internal work and reflection.
Yeah, I would say we quite like London a bit quieter, to be honest, because we're in central London, we're zone 2. So it's really, really quiet, and actually it's crazy because the birds are louder. I don't know whether I'm just imagining that, but I keep hearing people say, you know, the nights are clearer. It's just beautiful, actually. So we're kind of looking at what the gifts are rather than looking at what's been taken away from us. I think that's like a philosophy for life, to be honest, is always be present and grateful for what you do have rather than anything that's been taken away, because if you focus on that, you're not going to be happy.
Yeah, and you look for positive in every situation. That's why I feel so close to you guys, because I'm the same way. I am like, people are always like, why are you so positive? Where did this come from? I'm like, well, listen, what am I gonna win by being miserable? Nothing. I'm just gonna make it happen. So
exactly.
So wonderful. So please tell me, where does the idea for you guys came to create this 38 North, company? Like, this is phenomenal. And I'm guessing because I already did my math. I know what's James's birthday this year. I calculated 9 years being in business. So I'm kind of understanding where does the 38 come from. Am I right? Am I right?
Oh, actually, no, you're wrong. So 38, it's 38 degrees north. It's the latitude of Ibiza. It's where Ibiza sits on the world map.
There we are.
Oh my
and so
goodness.
our little phrase we had.
But did you see my math? How I came up with?
Yeah, that's great.
That's a lot more clever than it actually is.
Yeah, true.
But that's so awesome. Very good. So yes, so you actually have this amazing privilege of not only living in a metropolitan city, but also have this gorgeous island of Ibiza. I watched you work out on the rooftop of your place. So cool with the sunrise. So beautiful. And I've been to Mallorca, never been to Ibiza. I hear Ibiza is like a party island, right? Everybody's really enjoying themselves very much.
It is.
Yeah, it can be. I mean, so the island is obviously famous for its partying and its nightclubs, and there's definitely all that is there. But it's also a very beautiful island with a lot of natural beauty, and we actually live a little bit more north in a town called Santa Eulalia. So I can't even remember the last time we went to a club, a long time ago.
It's quite funny, actually, when people are coming home from clubs in the morning, we're up training. So it's literally like passing ships in a very different way. They're looking at us thinking, what are you doing? It's like, I'm just coming home from the club.
True story. Sometimes we'll go out of our apartment in the summer season. We'll see people we know and they're like, oh, where are you come back from? Like, no, we've just got up. We're training.
I know, right? There's like a very different level of thinking there. Well, anyway, so how did this idea of creating this movement, because it's a movement, truly, if you think about it, so many people are bitching about the midlife crisis, and truly, you guys are debunking this idea. What midlife crisis? This is just the beginning, right?
Yeah, I think, well, that's exactly what it is. Like what you've just said, I think, we are midlifers, and I think we see a lot of people out there, friends, family. I do believe that there is that kind of, we always say when you get to midlife, as a rule of thumb, it seems to be that a lot of people stop playing to win at life and actually start playing not to lose the things that they already have and the things that they think define them, and they become very fear-based. They don't, they kind of think it's that whole midlife crisis thing. They think that life is kind of over and they're stuck with their lot, and even their health, and we're like, guys, no, this is the new beginning. This is the new beginning for you.
I think that's really important. Yeah.
With all the
lots of people do see it as like, they're over the peak and now it's all downhill. You're kind of looking at your own mortality, and certainly, what our experience, a lot of friends just like, well, that's just the way it is now. My body starts giving up on me. I start putting on more weight. And you're like, well, that's the way it is if you let it be like that. Like, no one's trying to deny, yeah, we age and our bodies change. But here's the thing, like, will you get older? Yeah. Do you have to get mentally older? No. Like, you're as young as you want to feel. And you can do so much with the body and the mind and the spirit to stay young and healthy, and more importantly, like, happy as well. You know, just realize what you have in life and go out and embrace it.
Yeah. And, you know, there's two things that comes out of it. Number one, you do not want to actually end up at the end of your life regretting that you wasted it all, regardless if it's up to 40 and past 40. And number two, you guys have scientifically proven methods how to actually, you know, keep this happiness and quality of life way longer, because obviously we're living way longer these days, right? So it's not about just extending the life. You said it so beautifully. I think in the chapter that you don't want to live up to 100 and be in the wheelchair or sitting in the chair for 25 years or 70 or what. You want to be active, you want to be happy. And so many people, you guys know, and I know, that if you are really doing the right thing, you can be active, you can be happy and fulfilled and all this. And that's why, you know, kudos to you, because so many people need to hear this.
Yeah, I think what we say, it's not about the length of your life, it's about the quality of your life.
Yeah.
And, you know, we take a very, as you've seen in the book, we take a very holistic approach. So it's, you know, we have backgrounds in psychology, NLP, coaching, as well as the nutrition and the personal training. So it's kind of putting that, we are whole beings, right? Whole beings. You can't look at one without the other one, and you can't be out of whack. Everything needs to be in balance. And I think that's, you know, we do take a scientific approach to it. There's no pseudoscience in there. It's backed by our own experience and research and professional experience. And I think that's what people want. They kind of want, okay, this is a step-by-step process, because a lot of people out there are, like James said, just looking down the barrel of a gun going, oh, that's it.
That's it. Done deal. Not.
Oh, absolutely not. That's not what life's about.
Definitely not.
Yeah. So I absolutely love how you guys say that with thousands of clients that you work, you always start with the mindset, right? And when I look back 5 or so years, when, you know, by me, it was very similar. I was like a spoiled little girl all my life, never knew what the gym was, never had to, eating like a crazy person, anything at any time, in any amount, never gained an ounce, you know, a happy camper. I did sports, don't take me wrong, I did. That's what I just never had to go to gym to lose weight. There was just, I was very active, eating organic food, but whatnot. However, at one point, shit slowed down for me, and I was still in denial, and I didn't want to like acknowledge that. I'm like, what do you mean I can't have a bag of chips at night? What do you mean I cannot have a bar of chocolate? What do you mean? And, you know, doing this, and start slowly thinking the pants are getting tight, this and that. And for me, and I said it in my chapter, the moment when I start asking people to crop my pictures from the waist up, that was for me, like I hit the bottom of the bottom. This was the wake up call. It may not be a lot for a lot of people, but for me, like, what do you mean? I became someone that I always wonder what these people mean. Like, that was the painful moment, you know? And I was able to turn everything around. 5 months. I signed up for this amazing boot camp. Kudos to my trainer, Zeke, if he listens, watches. It was a crazy program. Amazing. 3 times a week. I started like you guys advertise. I went with a nutrition that doesn't deprive, just smaller portions of everything. Because I'm so with you. There's no freaking diet that is sustainable if it's rigoristic. I did it with all my heart. So mine was on that order. I could eat everything but smaller portion. Anyway, making long story short, 5 months, 38 pounds, boom, back to my normal, fit in my wedding gown, guys. On my 20th wedding.
Amazing.
I wore my wedding gown. I will send you pictures.
I love that.
That is so
amazing. Like,
well done, you.
Massive kudos to you.
Yeah. And that was about 4 years ago, right? So check this out. I realized then that it's here. I had to make this decision here. That's why when you said you're starting with this is the key, right? So for me, one thing led to another, personal development, blah, blah, blah. I am now teaching other people. And wellness, what's your core, for me is one of my pillars is physiology. But regardless, let's talk about your stuff, because you are freaking amazing. So when you get your people into your programs, you start with them. Tell me, how do you guide them through it? Tell me how, if I'm your client right now, 5 years ago, I'm coming, guys, I freaking hate what I see in the mirror. I'm not feeling good in my skin. Help me out.
Well, actually, it's really interesting that you say that about this, because that is where we start. So, you know, we always say you can't outperform your own self-beliefs and your own self-identity. So that is 100% where we start. Obviously, we kind of look at goals with people and set out what they want to achieve in the time they work with us. But it's about actually looking at where they are now and really digging into that, really kind of acknowledging where they are and moving into a place of acceptance of where they are, not playing the victim, but moving in a place of acceptance, because we all have that baggage and that self-identity that holds us back. So it's about unraveling that at the beginning, and then obviously weaving in all the nutrition, like the actual doing. So we say, we work on the kind of being side along with the actual doing.
Yeah, so we work on, like, you know, seeing what beliefs are lying under there that are going to be unhelpful to the goal you want to achieve, and look at replacing those ones that are going to support you, are going to shape your new identity going forward. So we're big believers, like, you know, our beliefs, we all tend to think the beliefs we have are just, you know, our personality or what we grew up with, and they're fixed.
Ingrained.
But actually, we can really quickly change beliefs, and they are the result of our experiences, largely experiences and things that happen to us. But you can change them to have the beliefs you want to have to take you forward to where you want to go. So that's a big part of what we do. Look at mentally, emotionally, where do we need to be, and let's start living that now.
Yeah, because actually we can do all the nutrition and the physical side and all that, but if that's not lining up with it, if that's not aligned and they're fighting against each other, that one's always going to win.
Yeah.
You doesn't matter how many results you get.
The thing is, we want to leave people in a place where they understand the process they've been through and they have the tools to go forward. And like, as you said yourself, right, the external thing's actually really easy. You can take pretty much anyone, train them really hard, cut their calories, they're going to get results in terms of the physical shape, for sure. But what happens once you stop? If you haven't done the work in here, boom.
That's what Claire says all the time. It's about that yo-yo, right? The yo-yo effect for people is the one what's killing them, because they go through some, you know, and believe me, I'm guilty of it, and many, many other people are guilty of it. It's not like we are figure this out forever. You know, it happens. And this crisis right now, it's one of these times that some people are going to come out of this sculpted like gods, and they're going to be so good. And some people are going to come out and they will take them decades to drop what they put on in a couple of months, you know?
Yeah. Absolutely. And I completely agree with that. I think, you know, the whole yo-yoing thing is something that I was definitely guilty of. You know, I've told this story a lot, and I think I mentioned this in the chapter, but, you know, throughout my 20s, I'm only a small little thing. So I was 2 dress sizes bigger, and then I was verging on anorexia. So I was kind of like always yo-yoing. And what I really, really knew was it's this. It is 100% this. And that's why our passion is so rooted in helping people kind of free themselves from their own limited, restrictive beliefs.
Yeah.
Because that's the heart of
everything. You said it so beautifully that you cannot become slimmer if you do not feel like a slimmer person. If here you think about yourself, oh, I will never do that. This is not going to happen. You basically just projected your future. If you talk negatively to yourself, the same like you guys brought another great example, people who win in these lotteries, great fortunes, they dump them immediately because they were poor perhaps before they won them, and they just don't have that mentality that they either can grow this money or they just simply have to go back where they come from. Like if they don't have it inside. So this is such a powerful thing, and you teach simple methods how to wire the brain, because the brain is simply able to not to be just formed, but then reformed. So tell me, tell my audience, like what would be your first, like a simple idea, where to start with this process to change the thinking? Because I think this is fascinating.
Do the self-identity stuff.
Yeah, so first thing we do is like we get people to like obviously look at their goal and where they are now, and actually write down what beliefs they have about themselves, but to think deeply about it, not even ones they might realize they have. And someone struggling with that, like, well, how do I know? I was like, well, the first thing is like, physically, look in the mirror. Like, what do you actually see in the mirror? If it's around money, have a look at your bank account, your bills.
I loved this exercise.
Yeah.
I loved it. This was powerful AF. This was awesome.
Yeah, because
look
sometimes
at your own life. Look at your life now.
We not be able to actually know. Oh, what's my belief about money? I'm not really sure. But hey, go and look. If you're maxed out on all your cards and you're struggling to pay your bills every month, month after month after month after month, that's going to tell you something around your belief about money. So first of all, find out what your beliefs are. Then look at where you want to go, future pace, so your future self, and imagine like, okay, that person. What beliefs would they have in order to support the way they are?
Yep.
So we'd say, okay, in the future, I have a constant flow of easy income. I don't worry about money. What beliefs do I have around that? Oh, I'm good at handling money, and money appears for me when I need it. And then we can work. Thing is, you can never get rid of a belief. You always have to replace it with a new one. So for all the beliefs that aren't going to serve, you find the ones that are going to replace it, and then work basically through a process of like affirmation and other work we do to start imprinting that into the brain and building the new neural pathways.
Right. And I'm going to raise my hand and tell you, so many people say, this is bullshit. How can you say yourself things and believe it? And then I say to that, well, why don't you try? Why don't you just give it a try, right? It's a repetition. If you do something 10,000 times, you're going to be a masterful at it. The same with this, right? If we repeat the same thing over and over, not after a while, the brain actually doesn't understand what's real, what's not. It's just what we tell ourselves.
Exactly. We create new hardware.
Exactly. So this is the magic. So for whoever listens, and if this is new for you, and I know we preach to acquire to many people out there, they already know it, but is the common sense, like my mentor Brenda Bush has, it's not always common practice. We may know it, but we don't do it. So try it. Like I honestly, right now, I am part of a challenge. I'm not going to disclose at this moment here, but I'm a part of a challenge working on one particular part of my life. And these affirmations that you guys try to incorporate in people's life, this is what we do. We have series of them, and they have to be repeated and in your face almost all the time. And let me tell you, this stuff is very powerful. Sometimes you can just visualize and predict stuff that it's crazy.
Exactly. I think that's really important to say, actually. Just said about feeling. What we need to do when we say those affirmations is really feel them. So this is the disconnect as well. And it's the same with gratitude. We do, we get people working with gratitude and giving and all that kind of stuff. But people are like, oh, I'm just writing it. I'm writing it out. And I'm like, no, you need to go into a feeling place. You need to visualize it and feel the emotion in your body. And there is so much scientific evidence, so much scientific research, brain scans, MRI scans of the brain changing. So this is not woo-woo science stuff anymore. There's actual evidence of the brain changing.
We can basically form and create new neural pathways, and then the more why consistency and persistence is key is the more we exercise them, the more we do the practice, the thicker they get, and the more effective, the more efficiently the signals travel, which again reinforces the belief in the behavior that you want. So it's a totally scientific approach as well.
I think just one thing I want to say on that, like when people are a little bit dubious about this mental work, this emotional, spiritual work, I think it's because, we were saying this earlier on today, when you do physical stuff, when you're doing something, you can see the end result. So in our world, health, you take someone to the gym, like James was kind of alluding to earlier, you take someone to the gym, they're going to get results. You change their diet, blah, blah, blah. It's the mental and emotional stuff that you can't necessarily see the immediate positive effects of it. But over time, what happens is you realize you respond to certain situations in a different way. I think and you start you don't necessarily react in the same way. You feel more peaceful. You feel more in control of the way you are. And I think it's harder to see the positive implications of that stuff rather than just this stuff.
Until you need it, and then you really feel how much you've changed.
Mm-hmm.
One thing we will say to our clients is, because people get the exercise analogy, is you've got to do the mental reps as well. You can't just go, if you want more confidence, you can't just go,
I'm confident.
oh, I'm confident. And say it once, then you'll be more confident. It doesn't work that. You have to go every day and be like, I am a confident person. I'm a confident person. Keep reminding yourself, keep practicing.
Even more so than physical.
And then push yourself to the behavior that's going to reinforce that. So when you're challenged, go, I will do what a confident person will do. And then over time, you actually change your belief and your behavior.
Yes, exactly. And then your body try to mirrors what you actually believe. Damn it, that's the bottom line. And yes, and I loved how you guys are actually, you know, walking the talk. You say you do that. You do these affirmations daily, morning and evening, you know, and it's like, and that's, and then I actually also am so aligned with everything you talked in these chapters, because, you know, my high performance coaching is all based on these pillars. You have 6 pillars, we have 6 pillars. I would love to talk about 6 pillars that you basically take people through your, let's say, if they train with you in your academy. I would love you to tell us a little bit about this academy as well, and how you actually help people, your retreats. All that stuff is fascinating, because truly people can come to you with so many different things, with stress, with burnout, you help them. They can lose weight, you help them. They just like anything, you know, because there's so many aspects of life. It's not just fitness. You can drop all the weight in the world. If you're miserable here, forget it, you lost. Like, so many times I work with people who incredibly successful, right? Like, they killed it in the business. Successful, really, really successful on paper, and yet their health sucks badly. Relationships sucks. So it's high performance. It's not just like in one area, everything else is. You need to go easily towards imbalance everywhere, right? So tell us about the 6 pillars you help people with.
So we'll touch on the kind of the ones we've already touched on. So mental resilience is kind of what we call it. Mental resilience, physical, nutrition. We actually look at hormones as well.
That's right.
So hormones, because obviously it's the midlife mentors. Our hormones for men and women change dramatically. So the way we eat, the way we train, the way we even think needs to reflect, because of our lifestyle implications. We need to change all of that. So we look at hormones. We look at relationships. One more. Another one. It's emotional well-being. I think emotional well-being.
Yes.
Yeah. And relationships doesn't have to be, because we're asked on that one, doesn't have to be like a couple. Relationships, obviously, if you are in a couple, having a great relationship is super, super important. But it's more about how you relate to the people around you as well. And, you know, again, it's never too late in life to learn a new communication style and learn to be more open and be able to take different points of view and have much better and deeper relationships with people. At the end of the day, what being human is about, we're social animals. That's why some people are struggling in the current situation. We're designed to be social animals, you know, where millennia ago, we all formed little tribes. You know, people didn't really go off on their own to live in the woods. They find like-minded people and get together and make tribes, and the tribes got bigger and bigger and bigger. So learning how to like really deeply relate and manage those relationships is super important as well.
Yeah, and I also think, you know, we will always tell our story till the cows come home. You know, we're both divorced. We came to the relationship with loads of baggage. But, you know, James is saying we had to work through a lot of stuff together, a lot. And we worked hard at staying together. But aside from that, you know, what a lot of the people don't realise is we can learn a lot, not just from our romantic relationships, but we can learn a lot about ourselves through relationships. And that's the whole point of being human and being alive, is very often the things we don't like in other people are pure reflections of the things that we probably need to look at ourselves.
100%. That goes in business and goes in personal. Like, if you don't like something about your clients, you gotta ask yourself, maybe I'm reflecting this, what they doing. And it's so true. Like, I noticed that this I gave this example, I don't remember it was on this podcast or not, but it was about a coworker of mine in the past years ago. It was a very negative person. I did not realize, but being exposed constantly, that I started getting this. And I was actually confronted about it. I'm like, oh my God, this is so true. You just like reflect someone else's behavior to the T almost. So that's very important. But you guys you nailed it. And it's so awesome that, your relationship works. And, sometimes it takes a few tries in life to get where you need to be, right? You luckily, hopefully this is it. Do not go nowhere.
This is it. I'm not afraid to say this is my third marriage, and it's third time lucky.
I missed the chart.
Yeah.
Awesome. And so
two pigs in a pod.
Yes, but you see, this is an important piece. Like we talked with other guests on this show, that this time right now, if relationships weren't solid, a lot of them will fall apart after this crisis, because people at their throats, they couldn't stand each other before. Now when they non-stop with each other, then it's going to be even worse. Or maybe, just maybe, they will work this through. But that's going to be two different spectrums of the story. So you see how this is influencing the happiness, overall happiness in life, right? And everything else.
Yeah.
I'm curious to tell us, how do you basically run your program? So what is the core of your program? So you basically start with the mindset, and then you take people through workout routines, nutrition, right? And all that stuff. Is there anything else?
Yeah, so basically we deliver it all through an app. So the client has their own app that has all their elements in. So when we're doing the one-to-one coaching, we'll design a workout schedule that's going to fit their lifestyle, their time availability, their goals. The same for the nutrition. And then we'll coach them, and we'll build different modules in to work on different areas through the weeks that we're working with them. And then all that's backed by, like, obviously calls as well to dip into specific things that they want to work on.
Because as you very carefully mentioned, it's not about just going to the gym and, hitting a couple bells. If I turn this computer around, I have like a small little workout station behind it, and like some weights and kettlebells and some mats and stuff like that. But the point is that you gotta kind of know and trust the person that, so like right now, I have tons of amazing programs that I follow on internet, and you guys basically probably train people right now online as well, right? You did that Easter retreat online, everything went online, and it's so awesome that we have this option, right? But it's important to actually know what I lost you guys. Hello? Are you there?
We can't hear anything.
Yeah, I hear you now. Can you hear me?
Oh, you're back.
Yeah. I lost you for a second. Well, what I was saying basically is that, we need to know what we're doing,
Oh, it's on again.
The internet,
That's better, I think.
Better?
That's better.
I think so. Yeah. We just have to roll with it, don't we? We just, it's a work of technology now.
One other thing that we're learning in this difficult time, everybody's a little bit more tolerant. If I say I'm going at 2 p.m. and if I go at 3:40 without the actual going live, people don't care. This is it. This is the reality. Every single person out there goes through the same thing. So yes, no problem. I'm not even stressing about this anymore. It's done deal. I hope we can manage to go through. But I'm really, really curious about your retreats, because that fascinates me. That's the actual idea of taking people out of their routine, out of their daily, monotonous, boring life, whatever they do, and take them to a new environment and implant the new ideas. So last year I did my very first one in Bali. That's a high performance coaching retreat. So it's more about mindset, about all these high performance pillars I teach. And then we had unbelievable time in Bali with my clients. But this, with you guys, it gives actually something that I want to incorporate in the future, maybe some yoga, some meditation, some practical stuff besides just the mindset. And I know you do all of it. So tell me about like an example of your retreat.
Yeah.
So we mix up everything basically. So we have, are you still there? Yeah, still there. So the length of retreats are anything from 3 nights to 6 nights. And, like you said, it is taking people outside of their normal everyday life, which really, really helps. One of the slogan for 38 Degrees North is reset your coordinates. So it really is about resetting yourself and rebalancing yourself. And it's really hard to do that in your normal environment. And the fact that we have an absolutely stunning environment, most of the time in Ibiza, when we're there, really helps to be out in nature. But yeah, it's everything from the physical, which is, you know, normal kind of HIIT sessions. And again, we explain everything. So it's very educational. So we're explaining why people are doing things for their body and their results. Then we'll have workshops on nutrition. Then we'll have workshops on stress management and resilience and goal setting and habit shift. Then we'll have yoga and Pilates, and
we'll do a hike, we do boxing, we do workouts on the beach. We try and get people doing as many different physical exercises as they can, so they find something that resonates with them, so that it just keeps their body moving in different ways. And like Claire said, our whole ethos though is always explaining like why we're doing what we're doing and how you can apply it when you get back home and you get back to your normal life, because
it empowers people, doesn't it?
Yeah, what we don't want to do is just take people, run them around and give them food with no explanation, and then they've not really understood what's happened. So we're very much focused on giving people a toolkit to go forward with, I guess.
Yeah, I think one of our clients actually said this to us on our virtual Easter retreat that we ran. She was like, you know, you're very much... She was like, I remember when I came on your physical retreat, Claire, you were very, very blunt about the fact that it's not a boot camp. She was like, you kept saying it's not a boot camp, it's a lifestyle. And it's true. Yeah. It's true, because when, you know, especially in Europe, when we say boot camp, it is that kind of beasting you, very low calories. And there's plenty of boot camps that will do that and get you results. But it's not how we work at all. Like, it's not how we live our life. So we wouldn't expect anyone to live their life like that. And it's not sustainable. So we allow, you know, we're not restrictive on the food. We give advice and we educate people on nutrition and what to choose. And then we say, if you want to drink, have a drink. Know that it's going to affect your performance the next day. But if you want to have a drink, because life's for living. You know, it's not about being restrictive.
And this is what I love. Everything for me is to finding the golden middle, like literally golden middle for me is that main thing that I always thought it's important. People who are radical in any shape or form, they always lose it. You know, no matter what it is, religion, politics, or fitness, you go too crazy in one way, you're done, you're goner, you know?
Totally. I mean, I know I've done that in my life. It's like alcohol, you know, we get clients saying, right, you know, I want to go from drinking every night with clients, you know, if they're out and they own their own business or whatever, and they're out with clients every night. I don't want to drink at all. I'm going to drink at all now. And I'm like, good luck with that. You know, like, just the extreme of going from all or nothing just never, ever works in the long term. There'll always be a part of your subconscious mind that will kick back.
Yeah. But I think that you guys just really picked from scientific research, from your own experiences, all these things that you know work the best, especially from the age group 40 and up, because again, that's a different approach, right? If you look at the 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds, and then you go 40 and higher, the things change, the bodies, the muscle tone, the hormones, the you know, the stuff. And you talk about the stress related to people's issues with the children, aging parents, and the financial responsibilities and all that stuff that makes people like crunch, like they don't even know what to do. So there is ways, and that's why I really, really love everything that you stand for, because you're giving people hope. And you know, people are not that strong out there. They need it more than ever. And so don't want to take your lovely evening away from you two lovebirds. So I want to just slowly come to the end with like this question. Maybe if you guys could give peeps that watching us, or perhaps I'll check for questions, but if you could give like the advice how the best go through this difficult time that we all in right now, what would it be?
Uncertainty, I suppose.
Yeah, I would say as human beings, we have a really strong psychological driver for certainty and for control. And, you know, we all tell ourselves like how certain things are, how in control we are, but that is all perceived. You know, there's very little in our lives that is certain. And what we're seeing now is like a massive level of uncertainty. You know, you can't even predict, you know, what next week's going to happen, let alone 3 months from now.
Right.
And so what we have to do is actually, rather than letting that make us anxious, is just, if we can, just surrender to it. Like, we know that the news is generally bad. There's lots to be anxious about, or stressed about, but only if you let it, right? Embrace the uncertainty. Go, okay, that's happening. It's something I have no control over. Here's the thing. We try and enforce control over things we have no power over. So I can sit here stressing and choosing to be worried about, you know, whether coronavirus is in the shop up the road and how long the lockdown will go for. But I have no control over that. So I just need to surrender any aspect of believing I have control, and learn to embrace the uncertainty and live with it. And before Claire, what I know will say something, I say the other really, really important thing is, like, have masses of self-compassion during this time. It can be really easy to start beating yourself up about, you know, oh, I should be doing this, I should be doing that, or I ate too much cake yesterday. I thought, hey, listen, there's no blueprint for what the world is going through right now. This is totally unprecedented times. However you're coping right now, that's okay. So just be kind to yourself as well.
I completely agree with that. I've actually just written a post on this. I would just add, there's a lot of people out there that, you know, motivational people posting things about, you know, if you don't come out of the quarantine having learned a new skill or started your new business or this, that and the other, you know, it doesn't mean you didn't, it's not that you didn't have enough time, it's that you didn't have enough dedication. And there's a lot of shame. I feel quite strongly about this, as you can see. I feel, you know, there's a lot of shaming of people. Just actually what people are doing right now is just trying to survive. People are losing their jobs. People have, you know, can't reach their family, their aging parents. There is a lot of fear and anxiety. And what we don't need is more people trying to shame people to be motivated and do everything in the best possible way. Because right now, the best thing you can do, like James said, is be compassionate with yourself. 1 minute you're going to feel fear, the next minute you're going to feel gratitude. Next minute you're going to be working out, the next minute you might be crying. It doesn't matter. Everything is okay.
Yes.
Allow yourself to
I love what you're saying. I am a big believer, and this time is an amazing gift, for example, for people like myself to skill up. And I will say it, if you have an opportunity, go for it. However, I'm totally with you. Again, the golden middle. There are days that, like Easter, guys, I haven't watched television for over a month. I'm generally a 2 hour of television a week kind of girl. But on Easter, I watched the show that everybody talked about. And I will tell you, the whole season. Okay, I did it. Can I say what it was? Tiger King, okay? Tiger King. I did it. I made it. That deal done. All right. So what? Did I fall off the wagon? No. Monday came and I got back to the grind. So you gotta always, I don't beat myself.
Exactly.
I'm cool with that, because you know what? I know to cope with that day. This was family time. We were chilling. We were having dinner together.
Exactly.
But I am a believer that it's better to really think about doing something creative, good for you.
Positive. Absolutely. And I think, I think, you know, like there's absolutely a time. It's not about kind of letting life slip by. It's not about giving up your routine. It's not about being kind of slovenly and just letting everything go. But at the same time, there is that golden nugget in the middle, like you say, of the pressure, especially kind of high achievers. So James and I are high achievers. You are a high achiever. There are people out there that put a lot of pressure on themselves to be this, do that, come out. Oh, it's frozen again. To come out, be this, and actually, this is a beautiful time. And I'm talking from experience, because I was like this. I'm a striver. James is a striver. We want to achieve. We want to make the best out of life. But at the same time, we are having this opportunity of a light shining on us to actually do some healing work on ourselves. There's never been a better time. We'll never have this time again. Some people might think that's a good thing. So, but it's about really not hiding from yourself about the things that need to be healed in order for you to go to the next level of yourself and be the best possible version of yourself. So there's that balance.
Yeah, and you guys talked about it in a chapter. Almost every single guest I spoke in this program brings everything back to this. In the morning, gratitude. Start with that, right? Start with something that you're great. Find the positive, and once you look for positive, more positive will come up. And I cannot stress this enough. Like this, I think it's the pill of like for all this trouble. Find the good things no matter what, and you'll be okay, and we're gonna make it through. Every disaster always end up in something amazing at the end, some sort of, like I call it, renaissance, or some sort of like boom and stuff. So we gotta be, even this should be like a light in the tunnel. The curve is gonna eventually go flatter, and the life will never be the same, we know it, right? But we're going to make the best of it. And I believe a lot of people will come on the other end with much higher consciousness. And I think that's a good thing.
Exactly. It's a great thing.
Perfectly put. A higher evolved.
Yes. Guys, I am loving this conversation. You are unbelievable cool people. I hope that we get to meet in person. I said to all my
will.
Come over, jump over the big pond when they open the airways. I'm in Europe. I'm in Europe.
We will.
I have tons of family actually in England, in Scotland, in London actually as well. So, hopefully we'll get to meet each other. Maybe there'll be a launching party for all of us eventually for this gorgeous little book that we have. But if someone was actually inspired by everything you taught, how can they find you? Please tell us the handles on social media and your website.
So we've got two. The first one is themidlifementors.com is our website for our podcast, and we've got obviously Facebook page as well. The other one is 38 Degrees North. If you put 38 Degrees North Ibiza into Google, we will come up, and you can find again our social and our website.
Very, very cool. Thank you so much.
Thank you, It's been
so great chatting to you.
It's been a real pleasure. It's gorgeous.
Awesome. And stay healthy and safe. Ciao.
We will. You too.